ourselves back up and we started to rebuild. After 19 years of rebuilding the city, Chicago put its hat into the ring to be the host city for the World's Columbian Exposition of 1893. The World's Columbian Exposition of 1893 is often just referred to as the World's Fair of that year, but it was the first World's Fair held inside the United States, so it was a great honor to host it. Keep in mind that the closest modern equivalent to hosting a World's Fair would be hosting the Olympics, but the Olympic Games only go on for 2 weeks, and World's Fairs went on for 6 months at a time. And this was without modern plumbing. The World's Fair in 1893, which we eventually won the bid for, went from May 1st to October 30th of that year, and it brought over 27 million people to the city. This is 27 million people before planes and before cars. We were also the long shot for the host bid. The 3 other cities were New York, Philadelphia, and St. Louis, but we did eventually win. That's the best thing that could have happened to us. Once again, it brought over 27 million people to the city, and it's the reason why we started running the L train. The L ran for the very first time in 1892, and it was called the L because it was EL for Elevated Line Train System. If you'd like to see a building from the World's Fair, there is only one left that's authentic, and it's the Museum of Science and Industry down in Hyde Park. That's the only building still with us, because it was the only building built to last this long. The other buildings for the fair and on the fair site were only meant to last the 6 months of the fair. They were all built to be temporary, and depending on their size, they were either burnt down or torn down as the fair closed. But the Museum of Science and Industry was originally the Palace of Fine Arts, and that building was going to hold priceless works of art during the fair. Well, the art needed to be insured. To insure the art, the building holding the art had to be fireproof, so it was built to be permanent. The original structure has been built onto and reinforced several times, but it is still authentic. And if you'd like to see it, it's down in Hyde Park. It's also home to the world's only surviving German World War II sub, U-505. Jackson and Hyde Park, the area where the fair was held, were actually just suburbs up until 1889. They were annexed by the city as we were still in the fight for the bid to host the fair, and we only annexed them to give us the space to host the fair had we actually won the game. If we would like to actually win the fair. Alright, as we clear the bridge, I want to quickly hop to the left. We have this bridge that is up in the air. This is the Union Pacific Terminal Bridge, one of the very first railroad bridges built inside the city. And the bridge is up like this because it is broken. Being broken, the city was left with a few options. The most cost-effective of which was just to leave the bridge up. This way we can use the North Branch, but we didn't have to pay to tear it down. The style of bridge is called a Strauss bridge. They are very common in train traffic because they allow you to bear a lot of weight but don't require very much steel. We are heading south. Let's hop back to our right. You can see all of this construction. This will be the second building by Pickard Chilton. When it's all done, hopefully on time in 2017, the building will stand at 450 feet, and it will be bright silver. It will feature a curve as well. So if you're having a tough time picturing this new building, you can look over here to our right where we have the green building with the curve. So take this building in your mind, paint it silver, move it over there. That's what you get. Now, a lot of buildings, when they go up, especially in areas that were pretty empty, the spot has been empty for the entire time I've been here. Nothing's ever been built here because beneath that foundation and that structure, there are train tracks, so it's always been empty. And instead of integrating a brand new style, they kind of take old buildings or similar style buildings and just warp them to be a little more modern. So here we're just changing the color. I did just mention there are train tracks beneath the foundation and the structure going on right here. We'll see them on our right